Have you ever wondered why people pull away even when you're just trying to be nice? You walk in with a smile, give compliments, and try to connect, yet conversations feel forced and people drift. The truth is, sometimes the very habits we think make us likable actually push others away. And here's the catch. It's often the kindest, most well-meaning people who fall into this trap. In this video, I'll reveal 17 subtle habits that secretly drive people away and how to replace them with behaviors that truly build connection. Stick around. You don't want to miss this. 1. Over-apologizing. You say sorry for everything. Bumping into a chair, asking a question, taking up space, having an opinion, or simply existing in someone's presence. Constant apologizing doesn't make you seem polite. It makes you appear insecure and lacking in confidence. When you apologize for normal human behavior, people start to see you as someone who doesn't value their own presence or worth. It creates an uncomfortable dynamic where others feel like they have to constantly reassure you that you're not bothering there. Reserve apologies when you've genuinely done something wrong. Replace sorry for bothering you with thanks for your time. Instead of sorry for asking, try I have a quick question. This shift from apologetic to appreciative changes the entire energy of the interaction. Now, over-apologizing often goes hand in hand with our next habit, which is equally damaging to authentic connection. 2. Agreeing with everything. You nod along to every opinion, never disagreeing or sharing your own perspective. Whether someone says they love a movie you hated or expresses a political view you don't share, you just smile and agree. This behavior comes across as fake and people-pleasing. Others can sense that you're not being authentic, which creates an unconscious distrust. People want to connect with real humans, not agreeable robots. When you never have an opinion, you become forgettable and uninteresting. Learn to respectfully share your own views. You can say things like, I see it differently, or that's interesting. My experience has been. Remember, disagreement doesn't have to mean conflict. Some of the best connections are formed when people can have different perspectives while still respecting each other. This need to be agreeable often leads to another problematic behavior, the tendency to overcompensate with excessive praise. 3. Excessive compliments. You shower people with constant praise about everything. Their clothes, hair, ideas, lunch choice, the way they hold their coffee cup. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to compliment something. When compliments come too frequently, they lose all meaning and start to feel forced or manipulative. People begin questioning your motives and wondering if you're trying to get something from them. They might even start doubting whether you mean anything you say. Give genuine, specific compliments sparingly. Instead of, you look great today, which you say every day, try something like, that presentation you gave really made me think differently about the topic. Quality over quantity always wins in the compliment game. The pattern we're seeing here is clear. When we try too hard to be liked, we often end up competing for attention in ways that backfire. This brings us to one of the most common conversation killers. 4. One-upping stories. Every time someone shares an experience, you immediately jump in with a better, more dramatic, or more interesting version of your own. If they went on a nice vacation, you went on an amazing one. If they had a tough day, you had a terrible week. This behavior turns conversations into competitions rather than connections. The person sharing feels unheard and invalidated, like their experience doesn't matter because yours is always more significant. It makes people reluctant to share anything meaningful with you. Practice the art of active listening. Ask follow-up questions about their experience. Show genuine interest. You can share related experiences, but only after fully acknowledging and engaging with theirs. Sometimes the best response is simply, wow, that sounds incredible. Tell me more about that part. When we're not one-upping other stories, many of us make the mistake of sharing too much of our own. 5. Oversharing personal information. You dump your life story, relationship problems, family drama, health issues, and intimate details on people you barely know. A casual, how was your weekend, becomes a 20-minute monologue about your personal struggles. It creates uncomfortable intimacy too quickly and makes people feel burdened with information they didn't ask for and aren't equipped to handle. It violates social boundaries and can make others feel trapped in conversations they can't gracefully exit. Match the level of sharing in your relationships. Let emotional intimacy develop naturally over time. Start with surface-level sharing and gradually deepen as the relationship grows. Pay attention to social cues. If someone's eyes are glazing over or they're looking for exits, you've probably shared too much. This oversharing often stems from a deeper need that drives many likability-killing behaviors. 6. Constantly seeking validation. You ask, Does this look okay? Was that funny? Do you think I did well? Am I talking too much? After everything you do or say, every interaction becomes an opportunity to fish for reassurance about your worth or performance. It becomes emotionally exhausting for others to constantly reassure you and manage your insecurities. People start feeling more like therapists than friends. They may begin avoiding you because interactions feel like work rather than enjoyment. Build self-confidence from within. Develop your own internal validation system. Ask for feedback only when you genuinely need it for improvement, not when you're seeking emotional reassurance. Learn to sit with uncertainty about others' opinions. It's actually quite liberating. Now, here's where things get interesting. All of these validation-seeking behaviors often lead to the next habit that people think is helpful, but is actually quite annoying to the people around them. But first, let's talk about a behavior that's incredibly common in our social media age. Ninth is fishing for compliments. You make self-deprecating comments, hoping others will disagree and praise you. I look terrible today. I'm so stupid. I'm the worst at this. All while secretly hoping people will rush to tell you how great you are. People can see right through this manipulation, and it becomes tiresome to constantly boost someone else's ego. It puts others in an uncomfortable position where they feel obligated to reassure you, even if they don't genuinely feel that way in the moment. Work on genuine self-acceptance and self-awareness. If you need reassurance, ask for it directly rather than manipulating people into giving it to you. Try, I'm feeling insecure about this presentation. Could you give me some honest feedback? Instead of, I'm probably going to bomb this presentation. This fishing for compliments often happens because we're so focused on ourselves that we forget to focus on others, leading to our next conversation killer. 10. Dominating conversations. You turn every topic back to yourself and your experiences. Someone mentions their new job, and within minutes you're talking about your career journey. They mention a movie, and suddenly you're giving a detailed review of every film you've seen recently. You rarely ask questions about others. People feel unimportant and uninteresting around you. Conversations become one-sided performances where you're the star and everyone else is just an audience. This makes others feel invisible and unvalued. Follow the 70-30 rule in conversations. Spend 70% of your time asking about and listening to others, and only 30% talking about yourself. Ask follow-up questions. Show genuine curiosity about their experiences. Remember, the most charismatic people are often the best listeners, not the best talkers. When we do talk, many of us make the mistake of trying too hard to entertain. 11. Trying too hard to be funny. You force jokes into every situation, laugh too loudly at your own humor, repeat jokes when they don't land, or make inappropriate jokes to try to lighten every moment. You've assigned yourself the role of group comedian. Humor feels forced and desperate when it's constant. It makes others uncomfortable rather than entertained. People start dreading interactions with you because they feel like they're watching a bad comedy show they can't escape. Let humor arise naturally from situations rather than forcing it. It's better to be occasionally funny than to constantly try and fail. Learn to read the room. Some moments call for levity, others call for sincerity. The best humor often comes from observations about shared experiences, not from trying to perform. Now, here's a habit that people think builds connections but actually destroys trust. 12. Gossiping to bond. You share negative information about mutual friends, colleagues, or acquaintances, thinking this creates intimacy and gives you something juicy to talk about. You position yourself as the person in the know about everyone's business. Smart people realize that if you gossip about others to them, you'll inevitably gossip about them to you. This creates a fundamental lack of trust. They may engage with the gossip in the moment, but they'll be careful about what they share with you going forward. Build connections through shared interests, positive experiences, or meaningful conversations about ideas, dreams, and values. If someone tries to draw you into gossip, redirect the conversation or simply say, I'd rather not talk about someone who's not here to defend themselves. This gossip habit often stems from a deeper pattern of trying to please everyone. 13 is being a chronic people pleaser. You say yes to everything, avoid any potential conflict, and constantly mold your personality to match what you think others want to see. You become a chameleon, changing your opinions, interests, and even your values depending on who you're with. People can sense the inauthenticity, and while they might initially appreciate that you never cause problems, they may actually lose respect for your lack of backbone. They start questioning whether they know the real you at all. Be kind but honest, have opinions, and stick to your values. People respect those who stand for something, even if they don't always agree with what you stand for. Healthy relationships require some friction and disagreement. It's how we grow and challenge each other. Now, here's the habit I promised to tell you about earlier, number 14. This one is so common that almost everyone does it, but it's incredibly annoying to the people on the receiving end. 14 is correcting others' grammar or facts. You point out when someone uses the wrong word, mispronounces something, makes a minor detail incorrect, or makes small factual errors. You see yourself as helpful, educational, or just accurate.
It makes people feel stupid, judged, and embarrassed. They start walking on eggshells around you, carefully monitoring their words instead of speaking naturally. It positions you as superior and them as inferior, which kills the equality necessary for good relationships. Unless the correction is absolutely crucial for understanding or safety, let small mistakes slide. Focus on the message they're trying to communicate, not the precision of their delivery. Remember, communication is about connection, not perfection. This need to correct others often masks itself in another socially annoying behavior. 15. Humble bragging. You disguise brags as complaints or casual mentions. Oh, I'm so tired from my expensive vacation to Europe. Or, I hate having so many job offers to choose from. Or, my biggest problem is that I'm so generous. People see right through humble bragging, and they find it more annoying than direct bragging would be. It feels manipulative because you're trying to show off while maintaining plausible deniability. Share good news genuinely when it's appropriate to the conversation, or keep achievements private if you're not sure about the timing. If you want to celebrate something, just celebrate it honestly rather than wrapping it in false modesty. Physical behavior can be just as off-putting as verbal habits. 16. Being overly touchy or invading personal space. You stand too close during conversations, touch people's arms while talking, give unsolicited hugs, or generally operate with a much smaller personal space bubble than others are comfortable with. This violates personal boundaries and makes people physically uncomfortable around you. They may start avoiding you not because they dislike you personally, but because being near you feels invasive. Respect personal space boundaries. Let others initiate physical contact or ask permission first. Pay attention to body language. If people step back when you approach, lean away during conversations, or seem stiff during hugs, they're telling you they need more space. Finally, let's talk about the habit that acts like an energy vampire. 17. Constant negativity or complaining. You always find something wrong with every situation. The weather's too hot or too cold, your job is terrible, other people are annoying, the service is slow, traffic is bad, and life in general is just a big disappointment that you need to share with everyone around you. You become an emotional vampire, draining energy from everyone around you. People start associating your presence with negative feelings and may begin avoiding you to protect their own mental well-being. Practice the 5 to 1 rule. For every negative comment you make, balance it with 5 positive or neutral ones. This doesn't mean being fake or pretending problems don't exist, but rather consciously choosing to also notice and mention good things. People naturally gravitate towards positive energy. Here's the real secret to being likable. It's not about trying harder, performing better, or doing more. True connection comes from authenticity, respect, and showing genuine interest in others as complete human beings. The people who feel magnetic aren't acting likable, they're simply being themselves while making others feel valued and heard. Small shifts in how you behave can completely change how people feel around you. It's not about becoming someone else, it's about dropping the habits that push people away and embracing those that create genuine connection. So, which of these habits do you notice in yourself? Be honest, I've been guilty of some too, and awareness was my first step to change. Share your thoughts in the comments, no judgment here. If this helped, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Next time, I'll reveal habits that make people instantly drawn to you. Until then, stay wise, Think Wise family.